Hi everybody, I want to tell you something about ship's delivery I'll be doing. Today is December 21st, 2017, and since about a month I've been busy talking and negotiating with an owner to bring his ship from Mallorca and Spain to the Netherlands. It's been a very interesting month for me, and I want to tell you a little bit about what comes with delivering a ship. First of all, the owner needs trust. Trust that the skipper that he's hiring, or that he's maybe not even paying, but allowing to bring the ship from one place to the other, will bring his ship there safely. Well, in this case, it's in the middle of the winter actually, and many people are saying we want to do it, but we won't do it until springtime, because going from Spain to the Netherlands, you have to cross the Gulf of Biscay. The Gulf of Biscay is quite famous for storms. Frequently, stormy weather will pass over the Gulf, making it not passable actually for a sail yacht at that time. It wouldn't be wise. But of course, there is plenty of spaces in between where passing is possible. I've studied the weather patterns and talked to the owner and said it is possible, I can do it, but we may need a little bit more time because we'll have to wait for the right moment. This is a pilot chart of the North Atlantic Ocean. All these lines and diagrams, they give an indication of the weather you can expect within that month. These charts are available online for every month of the year for most oceans of the world actually. It's very wise if you're planning a longer passage to check upon these charts and to see if you want to risk going there or not. So, what we'll talk more about. The owner didn't know the boat himself very well yet. He never sailed with it. The boat was standing on the hard. Previous owners had to sell her for some reason, and they painted her quite nicely and been maintaining her very nicely. But now it's for the new one. What was there on board? I have to check first, and everybody who I asked will you sail with me asked the same question. What about safety? Well, there's a nice list. If you have the Reed's Almanac, it's all, you can actually use that as a helping tool to see what is needed for the solar system, safety of life at sea. This is Reed's Nautical Almanac. There's a new edition every year. They give the whole thick book. It's huge and it's heavy. The whole book they do every year new, because there's new information about ports and tides in this book. But in every almanac also there is things about safety. There's lots of checking lists and helps about safety equipment and indications what you need and what you should take into account. There's even examples of how Mayday is being done on the VHF, information about flares and about other things you may need if you get into trouble. So it's good to have a book like this to check upon safety. First aid is also something to take into account. First aid at sea is a bit different from first aid on shore, because you cannot expect an ambulance within half an hour or an hour to be present. So make sure that you get some updated information about first aid if you ever plan to do a longer sea sailing trip. Some things were not on board yet. Previous owners never used a life raft. They said the dinghy was enough. Well, if you're crossing the ocean, believe me, it's not the wisest of choices to leave it up to the dinghy. Secondly, EPIRB, Emergency Position Radio Indication Beacon, a long name, but roughly it's an instrument that will send a signal to the satellite in case of emergency. This EPIRB is awesome. It will ensure actually that the Coast Guard will know where to find you and will be able to rescue you if you stay in the vicinity of the EPIRB, of course, within 48 hours, almost everywhere at sea. or other ships could be sent there who are near you. So also that needed to be bought, and then the other stuff needs to be checked on the dates, the extinguishers, the flares. Are they still at the proper date, or are they too old? And the list is much longer. Of course, some things I'll just be able to do once I'm there. That means I will go around the ship and check the whole rigging, the whole boat itself, if there's any leakages. What has been settled as well is that the owner will have a mechanic look at the engine of the ship to make sure that during this trip the engine can be relied upon as much as possible. So, once again, I'll be sailing a sail ship, 37 feet, not that long, from Mallorca to the Netherlands. It's a trip of at least 2,000 nautical miles. Here you can see the route we'll be sailing, from Mallorca on the right bottom to the Netherlands on the right top. Navionics, the program I used online here, says it's about 950 nautical miles. Of course, that's in the straight lines, so that would be ideal with the wind from behind all the time and no stopping in any port. Of course, there will be needed some stops for getting more supplies and for crew change. I found some crew through my contacts, found people who want to sail, but they cannot go all the time. So what we will do is we will in time check which port is the port where we can go to after like 10 days of sailing, and there will be a crew change. This is a picture from the sky from the sunny port of Alcudia on the island of Mallorca in Spain. The trip will be starting in Spain, where the temperature will be about 15 degrees centigrade, and we will then sail to the Netherlands, where probably temperatures will be below zero. What I've been doing the past month is I've been talking to the new owner, I've been talking to the old owner, I've been talking to crew and crew members I want to take, and I've been meeting some of them when possible, and I've been collecting charts, maps and pilots for the area that will be sailed. That pile can be huge if you want detailed maps of everything, so I limit it to the most necessary charts and pilots that I think will be needed. Most of the time, actually, the planning is to sail as much as possible. Basic planning is leave from the port of Alcudia, then sail for 8 or 9 days. That is about the time that the first crew has, and then change crew, do some more shopping, food-wise of course, and maybe petrol and whatever else is needed, and then set sail again and don't land until we are at the point of destination. Well, that's the basic planning, and the weather will dictate the rest to us, whether we'll have to make stops extra or not. Here are some of the charts I'll be taking with me. There are also some charts on board. For the rest, we'll be relying on digital navigation. In this case, I will have a tablet with Navionics on it, and I downloaded all the necessary areas that I needed for this trip. That's it for now. Thank you for watching, and please come back to find out what will happen during the trip, and I will tell you all about it in my next vlog. Bye bye.